All right, it's been a while since my last upload once again. And there really hasn't been much to talk about. The market's been pretty miserable. And I don't know, just haven't had much motivation to upload. Hasn't really felt important, like something I've cared to do. Got a strong glare on these blue light glasses, but check them out, right? But I figured today I'll bring you a bunch of bullish hopium because I am bullish as always, even though the market has been absolute piss. Uh, Currently on the way to come visit me is Andy, the dev of Drop, the meme coin, um, which you guys know the story if you've been around on the channel for a while. That's my favorite meme coin, number one meme coin on the XRP ledger, in my opinion. There are a million drops in one XRP. Therefore, the supply of Drop, the meme coin, is 1 million. Check out Drop Coin, but he's coming to visit, so I figure, market must be time. It's got to ramp up here because whenever I'm traveling, or in this case, somebody's traveling to me, I think it's time that the market gets moving again. And you could see here, right? We've come quite low on XRP again. We hit as low as $1.80, but we've actually held up relatively well compared to the rest of the market. Bitcoin collapsed all the way down to 80K, and you can see here on XRP versus BTC, we've actually held up pretty well here. It's actually looking like we're about to pump versus Bitcoin, most likely. We held this really significant key level on most of our, I think all of our daily candles, really. Yeah, except for right here at the initial capitulation event. We quickly reclaimed, and then we've held this significant level. And XRP versus Bitcoin looks really good. The XRP chart itself, I have tons of tweets open here, so we're just going to get through it. I got to move quick because a lot of posts I want to get through. Tech Dev, one of my favorite macro charts that he posts. Top line is where liquidity fuel has cyclically exhausted. And you could see here, right, he's basically mapping out liquidity, or what seems to be the popular indicator right now for anyone that's bullish is the business cycle, showing that it hasn't moved up yet at all the way it has in previous cycles. So the people that are calling the top right now are getting it all wrong, and they're going to be wrong-footed by the market because they're just following this same 4-year cycle trend, thinking, okay, the timing window has passed to see the top, so that's it, cycle's over. But really, the liquidity cycle hasn't taken off yet, which is what actually dictates the markets. So, great chart there from Tech Dev. Here from XRP Memes. I don't know why this one's thrown in here, but I was like, okay. Once you get used to using XRP, sending transactions on Bitcoin and ETH feels painful. And I couldn't agree more, right? I commented here, right? It's never made any sense to me. Whenever I try to use another chain, it just feels awful. I don't understand it. I don't get why XRP isn't more widely used by retail for trading and for meme coins and for everything, because it's fast, it's easy, and it just makes the most sense in my opinion. But there's a lot of delusion and hate around XRP. Just like there's Trump derangement syndrome, there's XRP derangement syndrome. Good chart here from Drop. This is when XRP runs to double digits, showing the Bitcoin dominance chart, how bearish it looks. Right, we broke this trend. We've come up. We've kind of retested that trend line, and it looks like we're about to continue lower. Great there for Bitcoin dominance. A few charts here from Crypto Insight UK showing XRP versus Bitcoin, XRP market cap dominance, and XRP versus ETH, showing how they all look pretty bullish. And it looks like XRP is positioned to outperform here. Good one here from Skadelic. Think about it for a second. Do you honestly think that the market makers just destroyed all leverage players across all coins on October 10th, took almost every dollar of long liquidity down to 80K, and then they're just going to continue to send the market lower? No. It's been done with because they'll be sending the market higher, and they've wiped out as many people as they possibly could. They don't want to pay the fat, greedy lawns from the lower levels, and now they're going to run it up whilst leaving everyone sidelined. And all the data I've shared backs it up. Price might mess around here for a little whilst it restructures, but make no mistake, we're not entering a bear market. New highs are coming. And I agree. Another post here from Skydelic. Again, this one's much longer. I'm not going to read it all, but also showing here the business cycle, right? Overlaid on the Bitcoin chart, showing that we have not, in fact, entered expansion yet. We are not entering a bear market. We are waiting for the business cycle to expand and the liquidity to expand. And that's going to send us higher. Here from Mergen, the trader, comparing our current Bitcoin chart to NASDAQ, showing how similar it looks here, faking everyone out, breaking below this 50-week moving average, because this has caused a lot of big names to flip bearish now. Many like influencers or TA guys or whatever, they see that we've broken below the 50-week moving average, and they're like, okay, it's a bear market now, and they're exiting their positions. They're liquidating their portfolios. So what happens if we move back up, reclaim this, and go higher? They're all going to be caught off sides. At the very least, they're going to lose a portion of their bag because they're going to have to buy back higher. CoinsKid. This is probably my favorite thesis on what's been going on with the market, that really we've been in a bear market or a corrective market since December of last year, after Bitcoin broke out after the election and it hit over 100K for the first time. Really, we've just been in a macro correction since then, a big ABC running flat. And I think that's where we're at. We're coming to the end of this correction, of this bear market, before the bull continues. And again, here from Plan C, same sentiment. Bitcoin this is the 6th time in Bitcoin's history it's been this oversold. Just showing how pitiful this is. Like, we're at levels that we've only really seen in bear markets for the most part. And that would be indicative that we're probably going higher from here, not lower. Here from Satoshi Flipper, alts never had a bull market or alt season since the last one in 2021. It's basically been down only for 5 years straight. 5 years of a bear market for altcoins. There's no cycle here to even discuss, because only now are we at the true bear market bottom for altcoins. Here's the macro chart for altcoins. Looks pretty bad, right? Or looks like it's pretty good and it's about to turn around finally. Here from James, Bitcoin following the average of the last 5 times RSI was below 30. Showing here, again, the average of what Bitcoin's done after the RSI's hit below 30. How we, maybe chop around here for another few weeks, restructure, consolidate, and then fire off out of here. So let's see. Record capitulation will end in extreme regret. Short-term holders for Bitcoin are at more of a loss than literally ever before. So, or more short-term holders are at a loss than ever before, like 99% of short-term holders. Everything just screams higher, man, in my opinion. Alex Becker, one of our favorites. The market will pump here soon. Sorry, guys. Burping a little bit. Everyone will panic, sell, and finally take profits. Then the market will skyrocket into a real bull run, leaving everyone but the clinically insane bulls behind. This is crypto. The meanest, trolliest outcome is most likely. And I agree, right? A lot of people here are looking to sell if we get a bounce. They're looking to sell on the dead cat bounce or the retrace. What happens when that's not the case and it just keeps going up? Most people get caught off guard and they're on the wrong side of the market. Long post here from Donnie. You could pause and read if you would like. But also, just showing that we're probably bullish here, not bearish. And people are trying to compare us to the 2021 cycle. But things are a whole lot different than they were in 2021. We haven't had euphoria. Sentiment is not out of control. It's actually the opposite. It's out of control to the downside, not the upside. And again, you can pause and read all that if you want. Like I said, we have too many posts here for me to go through everything. Kill these shorts, Binance. They getting cocky at 100K, $11 billion will be liquidated. Nice. Post from me here. These structures do look oddly similar, showing what we did here on XRP back before the massive 2017, 2018 run and where we're at right now. It looks pretty similar. A pump up here, a bunch of consolidation, squeak out a new high, liquidate, scare everyone, pull back, and then fire off. And this would suggest we're getting close to firing off. Again, if it were to repeat. History doesn't always repeat, but the structures do look similar in my opinion. Bitcoin positive depth delta on Binance Spot has increased since my last post about it, which means more passive demand came in, showing the last time we were green like this was right as we began to pump off the 75K lows up to 100K plus. I post here, XRP will pump and you will be happy. And finally, from Phoenix, unshaken, unbroken, unstoppable, the Phoenix always rises stronger. So I'll leave you guys with that. Tried to get through that as quick as I could, but I'm bullish as always. Hope you are too. Hope you're not phased by the market. And yeah, let's hope for a great holiday season, great December, and a great new year. All right, guys. Peace. Catch you in the next one.